Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Saturday in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your online business. I have a new tagline, but because of how my brain is used to that tagline, uh, I, I, I didn't even think about it. Went with it. Jenny, I'm glad you are up. Man, I had to turn all kinds of stuff and connect all kinds of stuff together. It wasn't connected for some reason. I had to restart my thing. Anyway, let's get started. I don't talk about this stuff a whole heck of a lot about relationship stuff, but I was inspired by a conversation today, and it made me think about something. You know, um, and it's probably the first time that I've thought about it in this way, right? I think the concept has been with me, but I never really thought about it this way that I'm going to break it down for you. So maybe a little controversial, maybe a little controversial. Some of you may we'll just go with it. Um, and let's see how it turns out. So you know, you often hear in order for a relationship to work, people got to make sacrifices, right? They got to make compromises. They got to make sacrifices. Well, if you were to kind of break the word sacrifice down, um, let's say in the world of professional world, in the business world, you also have to make some sacrifices, right? You gotta, well, that's what they say anyway, right? You gotta make some sacrifices. Now, excuse me, when 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 you make sacrifices in the professional world, okay, this is what that means. When you make a sacrifice for your brand, your business, right? Let's say, for example, you're in direct sales and network marketing, you're an entrepreneur, and you are starting from the ground up and you're wanting to build a business. Well, you got to circle out some stuff, right? You probably don't want to go out all the time. You don't want to waste time watching TV all the time. You don't want to binge on Netflix all day, right? So you don't want to be going to get-togethers that sometimes you may miss a Christmas, you may miss a Thanksgiving, a birthday, right? So you make sacrifices. Now, excuse me, when you miss that anniversary or Christmas or birthday, doesn't mean that you will miss the birthdays for the rest of your life. Have you thought about that? When you make a sacrifice, doesn't mean that you're gonna like miss the birthdays for the rest of your life. No, it doesn't, right? It means what it means is you're going to put something more of importance up front than whatever this was. So you're going to push that back, right? And you're going to do something that is more important now than, attending a Christmas party, if you would, right? So you're going to just kind of postpone it. You're going to push it back, right? Now, if you were kind of carrying that concept into a relationship, how would that translate? Let's say you are going to make sacrifices in your relationship. Well, what does that exactly mean? You're just going to push it back until the other person is not around, or you dump them? sacrifice is so rough, right? Especially when you say like, I gotta make a sacrifice in my relationship. It's like, gee, at Christmas, what are you gonna have to do? Now, granted, not everybody's gonna be a perfect match, right? Not every person is gonna, you're gonna say this, they're gonna say, oh my God, me too. This, oh my God, me too. It's just not gonna happen like that, right? So there are gonna be times where, well, things don't match together, right? And you gotta, I don't want to use the word yet. You gotta fine tune things, right? You gotta make things work. So, would you make a sacrifice or a compromise? Like a compromise for me would mean, okay, I'll just give in. That's what a compromise means to me, anyway. I don't know. Maybe to somebody else it means different. All right, I'll compromise, which means what? All right, I'll give in two spaces for you to take two spaces. Just doesn't sound so romantic, does it? Okay. Now, I was really debating who else is all online. I don't see people on. I really wish I could see who's on, who's not on. They're working on that, I'm sure. Um, so let's say you have a pet peeve. Shine John, what's happening? How are you? Good to see you, bro. Let's say you have a pet peeve in a relationship, right? Let's say um, this is the first time on camera that I'm revealing this. I've never talked about this actually before. What one of my pet peeves, one of my some of you women are ready to just like jump down my throat on this one, but I'm not into red nail polish. Okay, that's not my thing. So a red nail polish for me is actually a turnoff. Okay, so that's really a big thing for me, right? And we can get that's a whole other three lives we can discuss on the red nail polish. But let's say, for example, you share that with somebody in a relationship, right? You say, "Hey, listen, I'm really not into red nail polish." Now, by the way, let me just clarify one thing because I know some of you are gonna just, I know, red nail polish. Um, it just like all the time. I just don't like red. So when you come to me and say, "Oh, it's light red, burgundy red, or cherry red, or blood red, or watermelon red," I'm thinking of all the reds. I don't know what else red. It doesn't matter to me. That's like Swahili to me. I just don't like red. like yeah, we can talk about that. I knew you were gonna bring that up, but red is all good. Like I like red lipstick. I like red, dresses. I like whatever. I just don't like red nail polish, and that means all occasions. Like I wouldn't care if it's Christmas or Valentine's, or I'm trying to just shrink this red nail polish thing so I can get to the next concept. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't want to hear, "Oh, it's Christmas." I still don't like red nail polish. To me, it's another day, and I just don't like red nail polish. Just because it's Christmas doesn't mean that I like red nail polish, right? So for me, it's all occasions, all red, right? Now, I know some women are not very comfortable with that. When I bring that up, and I only bring that up to a person that I'm considering um, seeing more of or spending more time with. Okay. Am I wearing red nail polish? No. Um, so that's the only person I will share it with. Now, my mom wears it, my sister wears it, my aunt wears. I don't have any. My neighbor wears it. The girl across the street wears it. The person at the supermarket wears it. I could care less. Doesn't matter to me. It would matter to me for that one person that I'm with, right? Now, I think I killed the red nail polish thing. I know I'm going to get a bunch of messages for this, but my friends, you know what? I get ridiculed on the red nail polish all the time. Like this is not my first rodeo. I get ridiculed. I get laughed at. I get finger pointed at. I'll tell you this. My ex even said to me one time. She said, "You know what? You should do a live on the two pet. I have two pet peeves, and one of them is red nail polish." She said, "You should talk about the pet peeves you have and see how ridiculous you sound on camera." That's what she told me. So here I am, a year and a half down the road, but it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I can have that conversation with somebody, and she says, "I wear red." Hey, if it's Valentine, I want to wear red. I want to be able to wear red. And I say, okay. I already know that's not a person for me. I wouldn't argue. Why would I argue? I'm not here to change anybody. I just share my preference, and I'm going to share with you what happens. So if you make sacrifices, if you come to me and say, "You know what? You're such a good guy, Sean. You know, you're a good guy, you're kind, you're this, you're this, you're this. All right, I'll make a sacrifice, and I won't wear red nail polish." Now, how good does that sit with you when somebody says, "I'm going to sacrifice this for you"? Now, in the good book, sacrifice means you just cut a sheep's throat. That's pretty extreme, right? So when you say, "I'm going to make a sacrifice," you know what? I'll compromise. What does that mean? I'll take two steps if you take two steps. You know what? I'll just compromise. I'll give in if you do too, out of weakness. It's out of weakness. In a relationship, you should never make sacrifices if you want it to work. In a relationship, you should never make compromises if you want it to work. You know what you should make? Adjustments. You make adjustments. The same way when somebody moves in with you, you make an adjustments in your closet. You give space, you make adjustments. You know what? I'm gonna adjust my life according to. You know what? I'm gonna adjust this corner of my life because. You know what? I'm gonna adjust my daily schedule because. I'm gonna sacrifice my daily schedule because. I'm gonna compromise my daily schedule because. I wouldn't. I wouldn't compromise anything. Why would I compromise? Why would I give in? Compromise means give in. Just don't walk on the vacuum lines. Yes, I'm in the process of building an air thing so you can just like slide across to the living room. That's funny. Yes, sacrifice all unconscious revenge. I was just gonna say sacrifice sounds like so brutal, right? It's like I want to get back to somebody. But when you make adjustments, you're willing to make those adjustments. You're consciously thinking about the adjustments. As soon as I said the word adjustment, your mind started to travel to about some of the things that you got to adjust in your life right now, just right now. But when I said sacrifice, your wall probably went up a little bit. Compromise, you're like, "Oh, I don't want to compromise. Who wants to compromise?" Right? But hey, you got to make adjustments. Hey, you got to make adjustments in the closet. You got to make adjustments in the living space, right? So adjustments are powerful because they're conscious and they're willing, and they got a nice little flavor to them. Because you know what, you could always adjust back. You're not sacrificing. You're not giving blood, like, to be with somebody, right? And again, personally, when I give my two pet peeves, I'll just wait for them, whatever they say. Somebody says those are absolutely ridiculous. I would never go for that. All right. What do you want me to do? Like, no, you got to. You just cannot wear nail polish anymore. I mean, red nail polish anymore. It's like, okay, have a good night. What do you want to say? I'm not willing to adjust. She's not willing to adjust. Okay. Right. And so when you make a sacrifice or a compromise, what happens is this: you're waiting for one opportunity to just switch back. Let's say you're in a relationship with me, you decide not to wear red nail polish. We break up. Do you want to take a wild shot what your nails are going to be the next time you get your nails done? I'm going to be willing to bet the farm they're going to be red. Why? Because you made a sacrifice. You didn't make an adjustment. Adjustments are based out of love, and it's because you care enough about the person, or you see enough in the person that you're willing to adjust to give it some time to test things, right? Nobody's making a compromise. Nobody's sacrificing anything. Like that sounds like the worst, doesn't it? It just sounds like two people are gonna fight. Like, right? So when you make adjustments, it's out of love. It's conscious. You're willing to do it. It's not out of, okay, fine, right? It's like, all right, I'm willing to make that adjustment, and you're willing to make that adjustment. I'm willing to make that adjustment. And it just becomes a more of a powerful communication versus control and possession of one another. Hey, I don't expect everybody on the planet not to wear red nail polish. Like I tell my mom, I don't care who wears nail polish, red nail polish. I only care for one person. And if she's willing to adjust, then, and I've always said this before, and this has probably no room for this one, but I'll throw this out. But if I feel like if I'm taking something away, I always love to give like 2-3 times back. Right. So if I, for example, say, just no red nail polish, I love to fill that with so much more that you don't even have to think about the red nail polish thing. Right. You'd be like, whatever, he doesn't like it, I'll wear it. Right. So it's because it's willing out, it's an adjustment. It's out of love. It's out of and you have an intention to actually work this thing out. Right. And so the next time you come out to say, I'm gonna adjust, so switch your maybe vocabulary and see what happens. Let me know what happens. Drop it in the comments. Be like, wow, I didn't think I was gonna. The red nail polish thing took forever. Okay, now you all know the first one. What can I say? No good for me. But with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thought. I know there's plenty of thoughts. I'm gonna go back and check them out. But yeah, so drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. And with that, if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love. And I am Sean Azimi. I help folks create a side income using social media. Go to sidekicksean.com and check it out. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.